We're back at it again, once again. Dirty money, your DM, twin flames, and you. What you all have in common. Yes, yes, Ann Hayes, aka Mama G here. I am a sacred sexuality and feminine sovereignty mentor who empowers twin flames to alchemize sexual trauma into embodied power with my sacred sexuality reclamation method so that you can experience true intimacy, lasting fulfillment, and confidently step into your purpose, pleasure, and radiant feminine sovereignty. Yes, yes, yes. There's a reason why I said dirty money, your DM, and you. I'm not just talking to divine feminines. This is divine masculines. It doesn't mean that divine masculine, you're dirty. It doesn't mean divine feminine that you're dirty. Not even money is not dirty. So I'm about to lay it down for you. But before I do, I'd love to share with you that I've got a free private video, if you like, link in the description, where I talk to you, excuse me, not talk to you, but what I do in the video, I share three really key discoveries, three top discoveries that I made on my own healing journey with regard to sexual trauma that were life-changing. I mean, I struggled for decades, not years, decades in every area of my life. Loneliness like you can't even imagine. So if you'd like to end that loneliness right now, you want to find out more about what I discovered, grab that link in the description. Let's get to it. So I'm going to share with you, first of all, that I don't believe money is dirty. It's the perception of whether or not we believe money is dirty, just like all of us or anything else within this physicality in this experience, okay? I am going to now, if you know me, I've got other videos out there related to money, the ability to receive, sexual trauma, so on and so on, your DC. It's all connected, yet every time I come back on here, I take a deeper dive. I come up with more insight, more information, and this full moon just blew me out of the water this week in a really positive way. So, of course, I'd love to get back on here and share with you the insight that was shared with me. And of course, I always love to end up with some ways or some tips or techniques that you can use so that you can heal, in this instance, any dirtiness that you might feel around money, which, by the way, is connected to you and your inner masculine, you and your inner boy, no matter what gender you are. Let's just get off the gender thing for a bit and just focus on energy here, and your divine counterpart. Like it gets, woo, you're going to start to realize as you continue on this journey, especially if you're twin flames, even though this applies to everybody, that wow, it really is all connected, the energy, and we're ultimately healing the collective shadow of every aspect of consciousness, including money. So stay with me, because I believe this is going to be a little succinct, I hope, and yet I've got some juicy aha moments for you, because this relates to business. This relates to love. This relates to your sexual energy, your sexual trauma, the healing of your sexual trauma, your prosperity, all of it. Yes. And then, of course, like I said, I got those tools and the tips that I end up with. As always, I like to have some notes because I'm the feminine. This is where I use a masculine structure to support my feminine flow and desire to share. You see what I'm doing here? Intentional. There's my notes. Okay, so first of all, money, like everything else, has a consciousness. If you're here at this point on the journey, you likely know that everything is frequency, vibration, energy, and absolutely everything has consciousness, and everything comes from the God source. That's you. That's your divine counterpart. That's money. That's everything, every little cell in your body. All of it is consciousness expressing the God source through it, the goddess source. Okay, we're all here expressing, experiencing, and being revealed with more and more as we go. Ooh, it's good stuff, good stuff. Okay, so let's see. First of all, money isn't dirty. You're not dirty. Your DM isn't dirty. Your DF isn't dirty. Nothing is truly ever dirty. It's simply the perception around it because of of course, trauma overlays, especially if you've experienced sexual trauma, indoctrination, societal program, mass programming that says, oh, wait a minute, this is the only way that money should be exchanged. This is money exchanged with morals. This is money exchanged with integrity. This is money which is exchanged that serves the greater good. So if it's not done in that way, then it's dirty money and it's not the right way to, okay? There's no, money is neutral. We all come in here neutral. The God source is neutral. Like, let's just have fun. Let's have an experience. Nothing's bad, nothing's good, nothing's right, nothing's wrong. And yet in duality, that's the experience we chose as a collective consciousness, as a social memory complex. And at some point, we also chose, like, okay, we're going to come back into unity consciousness, and we are going to heal, which to me means to harmonize these polarities we created, bring them back into balance, and to come back into oneness. That's what healing means to me. It doesn't mean we're fixing something that's broken. We're just removing the veil of forgetfulness, and we're remembering and coming back into what I said, unity consciousness. So you see, consciousness, I'm just flowing this with today, but you know I'm going to cover it all because I have my notes. So money is not dirty. It's only if we say it's dirty. And think about it. If you feel like there's an aspect of money that is dirty, you are, in a sense, rejecting it. You are pushing it away. And the reason I mentioned DM in you is because money is masculine energy. Money is here to provide, to support, to provide a sense of stability and security. That's what the masculine energy does. And I know that you know that, because that is primarily the role of the divine masculine in the twin flame connection. And money is masculine energy. So anytime you judge money, not only are you rejecting some aspect of that consciousness, which is an entire energetic consciousness, the whole body of money, you are rejecting your divine masculine. And if you're divine masculine on here, you are also rejecting the divine masculine with you. If you're here, it doesn't matter what your dominant energy is, you are, if you judge any aspect of money and how it arrives to you or to other people, you are, in a sense, rejecting your own inner masculine, because we all have both energies, remember. You are also rejecting the inner boy. Everybody, regardless of your gender, has an inner boy. I've got an inner boy. I got inner boys, inner girls. I got all kinds of inner teens and social super soldiers. You've got all kinds of inner individualization, okay, fractals on the timeline that make up the wholeness of who you hear within this physicality and more. So that's what's happening. And that is push energy. So it's not just as a divine feminine push energy. Divine masculines may or may not be doing this as well. They might either not have that same challenge. They may simply be projecting it back to you, or they may be involved in push energy another way. And likely they are. They're just not pushing towards you. Okay. So this is what it can look like. Let me do twin flames, sexual trauma, sexual energy, consciousness, collective shadow, individual shadow. I mean, there's a lot to cover here. I'm going to talk about business too. So stay with me, because I'm about to lay it down, lay it down, lay it down. Because especially if you have experienced sexual trauma, and if you have been in prolonged separation because of the polarities, especially with regard to sexuality and how it's expressed, this is for you. Stay here. You see, because, shoot, I lost my train of thought. Come on, I'm coming back. I'm coming back. I'm coming back. Stay here because it is all very intricately connected in a way that will blow your mind. I know what blew my mind when it started to come in, and it just comes in a little bit more deeply every time. So let's see, money. Okay, let me give you some examples, first of all, as to why you might not have this on a conscious level. It might be more subconscious. I know I definitely had it on a conscious level. Like, I definitely identified some ways that money was exchanged as okay and other ways as not okay. And so in a sense, I made money in some instances, or the exchange of money, wrong. And in that way, I was rejecting money, I was pushing money away. So not only does this affect your prosperity, this affects your health, it affects your wealth, clearly, your business, your calling, your DM, the connection with your DM, whether or not you are in physical reunion at this point or not, because I know a lot of twin flames have come into union, and yet there are a lot of challenges around the sexuality, around prosperity, around just getting things moving. So this is not just for those who are still in that sacred preparation. So let's just keep that in mind. Let's keep that in mind and in heart. So, okay, I'm going to have to look at my notes here because I'm getting too excited here. Okay. So remember, money is a conscious of energy we created. We're a social memory complex. Okay. So, all right. I know I started to talk about twin flames. Okay. I was going to give you a couple of examples. For me, okay, now I've shared this in other videos. I was a child sex slave in a 20 and back. And if you don't know what that is, you can look at some of my other videos, maybe Google it, think of Tony Rodriguez, that kind of situation. Rebecca Rose, I think her name is, she's on YouTube. Think of that right there. And so I had this concept, and it was more subconscious because my memories were suppressed for most of my life, okay? Yet subconsciously and then more consciously, I was like, I had to believe that like the money, people are making billions and billions of dollars off of child sex slavery. And I made it wrong. And I made money dirty. And yes, that's a fact. Yes, it's something that we want to change. Yes, it's something that we want to elevate into a higher frequency. And yet, what I've come to learn on my own journey and my own, personal evolution and ascension is that it really, everything, absolutely everything comes from within first. It comes from you, it comes from me, it comes from your divine counterpart. Every single human in this collective human consciousness has the responsibility to heal and reconcile those own dualities and polarities within themselves to harmonize masculine and feminine energy, not just to harmonize them, but to come into from the wounded masculine energy and the wounded feminine energy back into divine masculine and divine feminine energy. So it's not only coming from the wounding to the empowering aspect, but it's then harmonizing those. So there's a lot of there are lower mind archetypes. I've shared this before. Carl Jung, think of Carl Jung, talks about the lower mind archetypes versus the higher mind archetypes. And I like to liken it to as far as no, I'm not even going to go there because the heart is the heart, whether it's the upper heart or not. Yet, for example, there's the inner prostitute where you can overplease, you can overgive, you're looking for external validation. It's for performance and rewards and whatever else might come about. Like you're pushing out into the matrix and you're adding to that collective shadow, whether you are conscious of it or not. Both the DM and the DF do this. All humans do this at some point. That is coming from wounding, and that's where the sexual trauma comes in, or any other type of trauma. There's a trauma that somehow has told you that you're not good enough, that you're not worthy, that you need to be more, do more. You're not perfect enough. You're not ready. You can't do it. It's not possible. Or you have to do it all by yourself. Or you have to do whatever it takes to take care of you because nobody else is going to do it. Depends on your trauma. But yet, especially with sexual trauma, okay, you are going to come from the wounded lower mind archetype. And so whether you are in a sense prostituting yourself in a lot of different ways. And I talk about that. That's another video. I'll drop that link in the description as well. The inner prostitute archetype. If you have a divine counterpart who is very sexual, who's even exchanging money for sex, or they have, that's just reflecting back to you your own prostitution. I use the word prostitution, and I know that it can have a very negative connotation. So And yet that's the name of it's not meant to shame. Please don't shame yourself. Like when I first discovered this, I was like, wow, wow. Okay. Yeah, it's push energy. It's going out in there and looking for validation because you didn't get it. You weren't nurtured in the way that you need. You weren't met in the way that you would need as a child. And that's where the collective the collective shadow comes out, and that's where the wounding comes out. And the wounding shows up with the money too, because that pain and that unhealed trauma, like I could say for me, was projected onto money. I projected it onto money, which is a masculine energy, projected it onto my divine counterpart, who I believe has a dominant divine masculine energy, even though she's for me feminine. I don't care how she shows up. I love her energy. So I was projecting myself. I was, projecting my own wounding. And with that, that's where judgment comes in. And I've mentioned this before, and it's worth mentioning again and again and again. Anytime you make a judgment about anybody or anything, anyone's behavior, choices, whatever, there is something within you, an unconscious shadow that is looking to come to the surface. Absolutely everything in your reality is 100% a mirror. Like every word somebody says to you, every interaction you have, stub your toe, whatever, the trees blow a certain way. There's a message for you in all of it. It's a trip. It's wild. It is so cool. So just with humility, step back. Anytime you feel like you want to start to judge somebody, whether it's a sibling, a mother, a friend, somebody you felt like did you wrong, step back. Where's the lesson in this? What is it trying to teach me? What is it showing me about myself? What is there within me that's asking to be healed or reconciled within me? Big, big difference. And that's a big, important part of the twin flame journey, and just any journey as a human is self-accountability, self-reconciliation, which is why I'm really big with, for example, self-intimacy. I'm really big on self-intimacy. I'm big on those tantric practices that focus on the individual first and developing those practices first with the individual. So then that sets the way or the path for more sustainable, harmonious, unconditionally loving and compassionate connection with the DC. So it's however you want to let it unfold. Okay. Self-intimacy, self-accountability, big, big part. So you're like, okay, so we went from money, we went to this, to the DC, to sexual. It's all connected. Let me tell you. Okay, so remember, money is a consciousness. It's masculine energy. It's got wounding too. It has wounding because money was created by collective human consciousness, social memory complex, for the experience of value exchange. And yet, there's, like I said, there's beliefs such as what came about in my personal experience where I started to judge money and make some money dirty, where none of it is dirty. Your divine counterpart isn't dirty. Your divine counterpart isn't doing anything wrong as far as how they're earning and bringing money in. Take it back to you. Take it back to you. Now, I look at the truth community, right? I think I need to mention the truth community here because the truth community, and I was part of that for a little while, way back at the beginning of COVID. Like I was part of that truth community. Oh, this is what's happening. And it's again taking a side. It's again making something right and something else wrong. And what really needs to happen is important to heal ourselves, like I said, and to come into neutrality. Because here's the thing, when you heal yourself, you elevate in your overall vibrational frequency. And when that happens, like here's the deal, and I've mentioned this before with tuning forks. A lower frequency is always going to attune to a higher frequency. That is physics, that is nature, that is law in this universe. So if there are enough, and that's what they talk about when they talk about the critical mass, the critical frequency, the 144,000 hertz is the critical mass for the overall social memory complex here on this planet. Once we reach that frequency, everybody's going to come into unity consciousness. It's like when they talk about, and I know this is really just flowing here, like guns, just people in war, all of a sudden they just drop their guns and they all of a sudden they feel it in their heart. They sense the interconnectedness and the oneness of everything. There will be no war. There will be no pedophilia. There will be no more sexual trauma. There will be no more poverty consciousness because the collective shadow will have been reconciled and it will have been healed. And yet it's up to you and me and everybody else to look at the shadow within ourselves first. So, and money is that. Money has a wounded aspect. It has its own shadow. It is healing as well because money has been used in ways where people have used it lovingly and adoringly and has been nurtured and appreciated. And in other ways, money has been misused, deceived, manipulated, ripped up to, it has been fought over. It has been exchanged for very, very dark acts and deeds and commerce and in a way that has harmed others. So money is healing too. Your divine counterpart, your DM is healing in that same way. You are healing in that way. And all of you are mirroring to each other, maybe not projecting so much, depending on how long you've been on the journey. Perhaps you might still be projecting because that's the mirror. So projection has a healthy aspect to it. And it comes to you and you're like, okay, you decide what to do with it. You decide what to do with it. Yet if you've walked away from the twin flame journey, then in a way you've walked away from money. You've given up. And you're continuing to look at the issue as outside of yourself, or maybe you're not. Like I was just like, I don't think I can do this. I sincerely thought that it was like an alien love bite. I was like, oh my God, this, because I had experienced poltergeist activity, and I was haunted most of my life. And I had night terrors up until 3 years ago. So it was really easy for me to say, oh my goodness, these psychic attacks, it's getting too real. It's like physical, it's spiritual, it's in my head. I'm going crazy. I need to walk away from this. And I did. And I did. And yet I was pulled back in. I was pulled back in. It was like, Ian, it's so powerful. Stay with this. You're strong enough. You're resilient enough. You didn't come this far to walk away. Stay with it. And it was at the same time when I was told by spirit, whatever, it just comes into your head, and by my DC, I'm with somebody and I love this person and I just want to enjoy this with it. And I was like, okay, Ian, you got to walk away. You got to walk away and let this, even though this woman is your TF, or at that, it was a time I doubted it. But when I did come back in, I haven't doubted it since. I was like, okay, she's my TF, but maybe we're not meant to come together, blah, blah, blah. I had to just learn how to surrender. And I had to keep bringing it back to me, back to me, back to me, because it wasn't about her and it still isn't about her. It's about me. And at the same time, if we're the same soul, because I believe we are, then it is about me, which is about her, which is about us. Money is you, money is me. So let's keep this going. We're money. We don't need to manifest money. We just need to allow it to express itself and reveal itself through us, not through everybody else. How about through us too? Can you bring some of that and not bring it, but can you express through me too? It's an energy, it's a currency. So in a way, yeah, I guess we could bring it to us, let's express it through me. If it's within us already, okay, express or reveal yourself. How would money like to reveal itself through me today? Okay, so it is all connected. And it is sexual energy, because sexual energy is the creative life force of the universe. And if you haven't heard me say this before, I'm going to say it again. If you have blocked any of your sexual energy, or you are wasting it, or you are leaking it, depending on your activities or lack thereof, it's either repressed or unconsciously overexpressed, because that is I wouldn't say overexpressed, more so not necessarily being channeled or harnessed properly. So there is a little bit of difference there. And you will find a challenge as far as seeing how money shows up in your experience. Now, for example, sex workers, I've known like some sex workers that can make millions of dollars. That's not typical from what my own research, and I don't, like I said, and yet anyone who I've spoken to in person, or anyone who, like many online, who share like it was just an easy, quick way to make money. Easy, quick way to make money. And so the thing is, maybe you make it just like woman. I see a lot of women, divine feminines as well, who were in their they were in masculine, toxic masculine energy, and they were working in corporate, and they were working really, really hard and sacrificing aspects of themselves to earn money. So they were making the money, but that is what is known as false empowerment. It's not happening with ease. It's not happening with flow. We don't even need to talk about integrity because it's neutral. And yet, if you could earn money or have money express itself or reveal itself through you with ease and flow, wouldn't that be what you wanted? That's when you bring the divine in the mix. That's when you bring the divine in the mix. And yet, it's important to heal that collective shadow around money, not just within yourself, but for the sake of money. Like, redevelop that relationship with money. Redevelop that relationship with your own inner masculine, your own inner boy, with the other masculines in your life, because that will support a healthy connection with your divine masculine. That's what I've come to experience. Now, I'm still in sacred preparation at the time of this recording. And well, how does she know she's in a better? Because I am. Because I'm more at peace. I'm seeing the flow. And that's the key. That's the key. Isn't that what it's about? You want that inner peace. You want to feel oneness. Okay. So I need to mention this other aspect when it comes to business. Okay. Okay. Business. Okay. If you're a twin flame, and whether you're a twin flame or not, there is something that you are guided to do as a way to draw in income, as a way to support yourself and provide for yourself. In other words, you're not waiting for a financial reset. You're not waiting for the financial systems to change. You're not waiting for financial systems to give you all your Social Security money back. No, it happens from within. You are the one that makes that change. So what I found in my own personal journey was that I was rejecting the structures in business and the like marketing tools and whatnot that would help to support greater ease and flow in my business. And I'm sharing this because it may resonate with you as well. And in a way, what I was actually doing out of fear, because I didn't feel safe because of my sexual trauma, think of it, which masculine energy, and there was actually a male, there was mostly men who had sexually tortured, abused, molested me. To me, that's masculine energy, and there was a lot of money exchange. So without consciously being aware of it, I was pushing away, rejecting, afraid, not feeling safe, not trusting those divine masculine structures in business to support my business. In fact, when I signed my first premium coaching client, don't you know I backed right up? And after the first month, this person walked away. I was pretty much ghosted, and it's happened a few times like that exists. And what I realized there's actually more to it than just this. But what I realized is I still had some fear around it. I was rejecting some of these other systems, and in a way, still rejecting some aspect of my divine masculine, which is me. Okay. So you see how it's all whoop, whoop. So let's talk about some of those business structures. Now, remember, there is the structure of business that is divinely masculine that supports the creative flow, which is feminine. And we all, when we have those balance within each of us, all of us, that's when business becomes prosperous. Okay. So these are some of the structures. For example, AI integration. I was rejecting AI. To me, I haven't looked it up, and I'm assuming AI is more masculine energy because it's something that creates ease and flow. It's supportive. And I was rejecting that for a long time. And part of that was not, it was initially the truth community talking about AI taking over, blah, blah, blah. I was like, please, okay. AI has a divine nature too. And then one of my parallel realities was pretty intense with regard to AI. And yeah, let's just say that. So I had to reconcile that one right there. Um, automation systems, funnels, all of that. Okay. Any organizational structure for, even just sequenced automated emails is a masculine structure that supports the ease and the flow of the feminine. Okay. Now, a website, okay, being able to easily find you. Okay, where are the links? Where do I go? Tell me what's going on. And even just showing up and being very, very clear with your messaging and your offer and being out there and sharing, that is divine masculine energy. It just says, hey, here I am. I know I could help you. I've got something you need. There is beautiful divine created, divinely created product or service that is brought here and wants to be experienced and wants to feel useful. And it's coming through me. Okay. So that's the divine masculine that says, hey, I got this. Let's do this. So that involves selling. So it involves connecting and selling and offering and sharing what it is you got because you truly believe in it. You truly believe in it, and it's here to serve and to support and help others. So there's AI integration, there's automation, there's selling, and then the other one, which was a big one, which is really important to mention, is a team support. Okay, and what I have found, and that's been my experience. I'm just going to be real to the real to the real. And it's been a lot, especially, I think both divine masculine, divine feminines, okay? Because divine masculines tend to become over independent. Divine feminines tend to be overly dependent. And when they're brought into sacred solitude and they're forced to reconcile with their inner masculine, let me tell you, the universe will say, oh no, you're going to figure this out. You're going to get it done. You're going to do it. Just stick with it and keep going. You are resilient. You're strong. You can do it because that's divine masculine energy. They just keep going. Okay, there's a little hiccup. Doesn't faze them. They keep going. They can see that vision through. And that's why it's important for divine feminines to bring in that and to heal the wounded inner masculine so that divine feminines, you as well, can be that, can show up and get it done and see your vision through. Now, I know for me, I waited for a long time. I've had 8 websites, 8 different businesses, online academy, masterminds, you name it, one-on-one coaching, books, songs. And yet, for some reason, I was like, I'm not ready to put up another website right now. I'm just not ready to do it. So I had a link tree. It was real easy. Everything, landing pages, boom, 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 emails. And then fine, it was like, guess what, Ian? It's time. You need a website. And I was like, I need a logo. I need a website. Boom, VA, got on it as far as the logo. And I was like, I'm doing the website. I'm going to do it. And it was scary for me because of past experiences I've had with technology. And I just keep, and again, that's a masculine energy. So you could do something like, okay, I am developing a better relationship with technology every day. And it took me 2 weeks, and only because I did try AI. It was scary, but I said, okay, I'm going to try AI. And I just had to start over twice. And the website's up. And yeah. So, anyways, it's just getting it done. So, if there's any part of you that, whether you're conscious of it or not, that has rejected money, or thought that money was dirty, or that it should be earned in a, even if you're talking about the 1% and you keep talking about the 1% and how they're hoarding all the money, I'm going to tell you right now, you are shaming money. You are rejecting money. You are pushing it away. You are sending it deeper into its shadow. Remember, shame. I forgot to mention shame. Shame. We're in a shame-based reality. We do not heal through shame. Money consciousness does not heal through shame. You don't heal through shame. I don't. We heal through awareness, through love, excuse me, and compassion. And the more awareness and the more understanding and the more you take it back to you and the more that you recognize that it truly is all interconnected, it just changes the whole game. It changes the whole game. Now, how did I come about with these awarenesses? I came about with these awarenesses because I do have my own business, because I have been asking the open-ended questions like, what would this look like, that look like? What would it look like to have somebody show up to support me? Calling in support financially, just some in a lot of different ways. And it's just magical the way it shows up. I also have been working with a actually, I just finished this particular relationship, a one-on-one business coach. I've worked with twin flame, high level, premium twin flame coach 2 times over, business coach, more than, I mean, that's just within the last year and a half. I've worked with all kinds of coaches and I've invested, and I'm now part of an online community with a multimillionaire who works with flow and ease within the business, but yet she has the harmonization of the divine masculine aspect and the divine feminine aspect. So it's being a part of that community, it's learning, it's research, it's being open. It's just, so it's not like I just pull this out of thin air. I mean, some stuff my divine masculine shares with me telepathically and I get information. So I've shared that. Yet this is me with intention. This is me staying solid on my vision. This is me knowing my vision and not giving up on my vision. This is me showing up, being resilient, being determined, doing the inner work, the inner alchemy, doing the external work. Even when I don't want to do it sometimes, I'm doing it. And I'm going to be totally vulnerable here. I left Hawaii, and then I'm going to give you the ways that you can start to reconcile with money. I promise you that. And here we go. I just went on a free flow, all good to go. So I spent 3 months in Hawaii. I didn't realize how much transmutation, beautiful stuff though, because the awareness that comes out of it, how much I advanced in my business. It was like, wow. I came to Santa Barbara, California, US of A for a month. Here I am thinking I'm going to be in the recording studio. I got a couple of songs. I'm going to be uploading another book. Boom, ready to go. I thought, yeah, let's go, baby. Oh, no. Woo! I'm going to tell you right now, I have purged intensely every single day for the last 30 days, with this last week bumping it up. Here's the difference. I have the awareness of what's going on. I know to step back, relax. I'm not doing a reel today, not doing a video today. I know when to step back and then integrate it. And I'm going to tell you, the information that has come in, wow, wow. I'm like, oh my God, like volumes and volumes and volumes of information. So I'm going to start to disseminate some of that information and share as much as I can. But this is what had come in today. I came out of it today. I'm ready to get back on. So I wanted to jump on today, even though I'm moving again in a day and a half. I was like, I got the time. I'm good to go. And so let's see. I promise you some tips. Okay. First of all, the awareness helps. So just being you here is like, aha, now you know. Number 2, write a letter to money. And if you haven't done it already and you haven't done it in a while, do it again. Write a letter to money. In the background, you can have the Ho'oponopono prayer playing, like, I apologize, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. Beautiful, beautiful prayer of forgiveness and reconciliation. It's powerful. Remember, it's sound current. And then have money write a letter back to you. Have money write a letter back to you. Listen to money affirmations. There are subliminals. You can just go on YouTube, online, even Spotify, and listen to subliminals about money. Now, if you've done this and you're like, I don't know if I'm supposed to do that. Oh, it's a gesture. I don't know. I take it back. I'm up. Anyways, because I was there too. That's when you might want to come in and heal some of the unhealed sexual trauma that you may not even be aware that you need to still heal or could choose to. That's where I can help you out. That's my specialty. That's my go gamer. So I also am going to put a link in the description for a free quantum strategy call. Of course, get that private video because I'm telling you, those discoveries are pretty powerful. Okay, what else can you do? Listen to activations. Lately, I've been listening to Brian Scott. Now, I'm reading his book, right? He has his first book, Brian Scott. Just Google him on YouTube. It's called The Reality Revolution. And wow, the language that he uses, the music, his voice is being in that resonant field is very powerfully activating. I can tell you, like this, his book, I was like, I've read this book for 10 million times, and yet I'm still making myself read it because I'm in his resonance. So that's another option. Is this also, I've shared this in another video, The Spirit of Money or Money Loves You. Okay. I don't know what I did with the book. Anyways, so that's called The Spirit. No, Money Loves You. Money Loves You by anyways, Money Loves You. It's on Amazon. Affirmations. Here's one that you can use right now that's a really powerful one to remind you that you are, in fact, money. I am the flow that money follows. Whoo! You don't chase money. Money comes to you because money is masculine energy. I am the flow that money follows. I don't care what gender you are. I am the flow that money follows. I am money. You are money. We are money. Okay. Number 6. This is a little interesting. I learned this years ago is and I can't remember the name of the gentleman who shared this, is like if you're still exchanging like cash money. I don't do a lot of cash these days, but if you do and you end up like you have change in a lot of change, go to a local schoolyard and just throw them, like, don't get all creepy because you're not supposed to be hanging around a schoolyard, okay? Just get the money and like not when the kids are out there, like maybe they're not out at the recreational play, whatever. Just throw it over the fence. That's what when I was in Hawaii, I don't know, I had some change, okay? I was finding money too. So I would just go when they were in the class, I would just go to the fence and I would just throw all the change over the fence. And that way they come out and they get to find it. And imagine how magical that is for them. So that's you being generous, you're sharing it. Maybe it's just change, but it really does a lot to spread the consciousness of money and to keep it in circulation and keep it in flow. Number 7 is self-inquiry. I ask myself, geez, how does money wish to express itself through me today? How does money wish to reveal itself through me today? Now, I've been working, I've worked with all this money stuff for I even had a money coach, a wealth coach, that I worked with at one point. Of course, because of the sexual trauma that still needed to be healed, I wasn't quite getting the same results just yet. So that's another little caveat just to let you know. Like I said, grab that private video and you'll know. Okay, how does money wish? What was I getting at? Okay, I'm trying to stay focused here. I'm just excited to share this. So, I looked at my account yesterday, right? I'm like, okay, this is what my amount is. And then I looked at it again and I had 75 more dollars than I had yesterday. And there wasn't any money that went in there. I wasn't expecting any money to go into there. I checked. I didn't see anything that was deposited. I double checked, triple checked. And I even had a payment come out for Netflix. And I'm like, wait, so I'm expecting this amount. I can tell you that was so magical. And that's the kind of stuff that can happen. And when I was consciously focused on prosperity every day, I also found like a gold necklace and I got money. I pawned it so it can show up in so many different ways. Yet, one of the things that a business coach that I was working with recently shared with me, she's like, Ian, are you focusing on the prosperity or the consciousness of money every single day, at least a little bit? I'm like, no, I've kind of gotten out of it. So I started to get back into it. Woo, baby, sexy, let me tell you. Okay, number 8, talk to money as if it's a loving partner because it is a consciousness and it wants to be, it desires, even though, yeah, it's neutral. And yet it desires, but yet it's got wounding too. Remember, like us, we're neutral. We come in neutral. It desires to be appreciated just the way your divine masculine desires to be appreciated, just the way you do, your own inner masculine, inner boy, all desire to be appreciated. It's about embodying appreciation. So you can focus and make a list of all the ways money in abundance has shown up in your life now. Like, what are all the things that you get to enjoy because of money? Like, I look at this apartment I'm in, it's clean, pristine, it's beautiful, it's in this beautiful, quiet environment. I get to enjoy this. I've got this laptop, this bee light, I got this dress, whatever. I've got food, flower, a plant in the back. I mean, you could go on and on and on, I'm sure. Just my emery board, I don't know, whatever. My tattoo artist, I don't have one. That just came out. Okay, mirror work. You could, I'm big on a mirror work. If you know anything about mirror work, think about Louise Hay. I know that I'm also coming, I came up with something known as tantric mirror work, which combines tantra, tantra techniques with mirror work. Yeah, 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 yeah. It's a thing. I made it a thing. Okay. So, but you can just do straight up mirror work. Talk to money through the mirror. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, that's it. Talk to your DM. Loving, like, as if you're ready to start to appreciate your DM for everything they've done for you because they are showing you if you allow yourself to receive it. They're showing you everything. They're helping you to grow. They're making you a better version of yourself. They're keeping you on your highest timeline. Now, if you've walked away and you're watching this, don't shame yourself. Don't shame yourself. Okay. The other thing I feel like I need to share really quickly is I've got, and I was this way too at one point, I'll be honest, is there a lot of people within, especially the spiritual community, the twin flame community, especially if you're a twin flame who's experienced sexual trauma, especially at the depth that I have, there is going to be that struggle with money. There is going to be that struggle with everything. And that's why I can feel lonely. And that's why loneliness is probably one of the biggest pain points on this journey with regard to sexual trauma and unhealed trauma. So what I hear some people saying, and like I said this too, is like, it's not fear or it's selfish or greedy that someone who's a twin flame wants to coach other twin flames and they charge these crazy amounts to be coached. That's a whole conversation for another day. That is wounding, that is expressing itself. Money is a consciousness. It's about worthiness. It really, truly is. And it's amazing how much that worthiness piece is such a critical aspect to healing sexual trauma, to healing the financial struggle, to healing, connection and into all of it. It's all connected. Oh my. Okay, so that's what I got. Do me a favor, drop me a comment. I'd love to see more comments. Let me know what you think about this, what your thoughts are, if any of this resonates with you, if you're going to implement any of this, if you try any of the tips, come back and let me know how it functioned for you. And give me like, comment, subscribe, share. Let's support each other. Twin flames especially. Come on now. Let's do this. Let's support each other on this path. Okay, so there it is. That is money is not dirty, your DM is not dirty, and you are not dirty. So let's reconcile this and make prosperity, intimacy, love, lasting fulfillment a thing for everybody very quickly. Check out those links in the description. Have a beautiful day. Mama G is gonna be back. I know I got more. I could have shared more. Love you so much. Peace.